Welcome to this series where we are playing the 1.14 update for Empyrion Galactic Survival. And I want to start with an apology in the fact that there's been a little bit of a break in this series after my disaster of the previous part where we went to I can't remember where it was now, but we took down or invaded a squid ship and I managed to get away. But when we got back into normal space, I ran out of fuel, which effectively is game over because we were trapped in space with no fuel and unable to get to a planet. And at the end of that video, I said I would redo and get back, which I did. And I played that through, and using the capital vessel for the last part. So I played up to the point where we went to the system where the squid ship was, and then I went in with my capital vessel. And as suspected, I found that this vessel is not really up to the job. If I kind of press this and go and show you from the just open the top hatch. What you will see is if I come round over here, you see that there's a bit of rough rebuilding here. There's a reason why it's all a bit rough. I'll explain that in a little while. But literally all this side of the ship was destroyed by those drones that were hanging around the squid ship. I think it was just literally down to attrition, because you can see I lost the cannon on this side and the cannon at the front. And also before I went in, I actually put a plasma turret on the top and the bottom. The one at the bottom survived, but probably because it was in a fairly safe spot. But I lost the one on the top. So I think what happened is they kept attacking until I lost the turrets, and then they were slowly pecking their way through. And another problem is that most of the outer skin of this ship is only steel, but a really big area of damage was done back here. And by big area of damage, I mean that when I got back to the ship after clearing the squid ship, I had no rear thrusters at all. So I had to very quickly build a couple of rear thrusters so I could get up enough speed to warp out again. I also took some damage on this side. You can see there's a few missing blocks still, but luckily they didn't penetrate through. The other side, they actually penetrated through, broke the glass, so I lost all my plants. You can also see over here where this thruster's exposed on this side, and this thruster here is a replacement. So the long and the short of it is that this ship is certainly not up to doing the last phase of the mission, which if you look on the right hand side there, it says we've got to go to legacy territory and warp to Yara. Now if I come into here and we go to the galaxy, I need to turn on territories, and if you see here, Yara is right over here in legacy territory. I think all this dark green is Talon territory. And in the past, legacy territory was a long way out of space, and you had to fly to it. Now it looks like it's actually in the middle of Talon territory, but you can see the little red dot there where Yara is. And if we kind of come over here, and if I can, where's my meta cursor gone? You can see this is 300 light years away, partly because what I've done after completing the actual mission and get my damaged ship fixed enough to be able to fly. If I let me just see. It looks like I need to eat some food. Anything else in here that's quite small? No, I think we could just eat that. Yeah, and what I've done is I've come all the way back through space again. If I kind of come into the map and just show you where I am. We are now on this called Aluba Sevther, and right in the area where Talanor is. Now, if you watch the, I think it was the last video or the one before, where we said we got a bookmark, and This is the way it seems to work if you want to come back to Talanor, or Talanor. You've got to come back until you get to a system where you are actually in range, and the system that it kind of tags here is Demagogo. And what that system, now what I did find is that the game was a little bit kind of skew with the representation. So if you really want to find Talanor, you're probably looking for this one here. There, basically, what you've got to do is get within warp range of whatever ship, whether it's 30 light years or in my case 60 light years, and get to one of these systems. And then, in theory, I haven't done it yet, so we're going to find out. What you do is thrusters are on, and what should happen now is we should build up to speed because we're in warp range. We can now travel into Talanor. Now, the reason I've come all the way back here is that my original capital vessel is still parked there as of the end of from the last mission. So what we need to do now, we've got to go here. So what I want to do is actually recover the actual ship, if I can find where the, come on game, is there somewhere. I hate these yellow planets because it's very difficult to actually see. There, so we've now got to fly warp to Talanor. So while I'm just warping in, just talk a bit about the strategy. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Talanor and see if we can recover the components of the capital vessel that we were using before. This is the free one that you get from the game. So we're looking out, and then I'm going to use that to kind of start fitting out this rebuild, or not so much fitting out, rebuilding this capital vessel to get it to the point where we can actually go to Yara and see what's there, because I'm suspect that we're going to be running into infectors and things like that, which means we're going to need quite a lot of firepower. The other thing that we're going to need lots of is pentaxid. I think let's have a look at we kind of. So again, we're going to have to collect a lot of pentaxids, because especially if you want to keep going, because not only have you got the 300 light years to get to Yara, but if you're going to carry on playing, you need a lot of fuel to get out of it, and that doesn't include the fuel or the pentaxid you're going to need to drive your shields as well. So and also make ammunition. So pentaxid, we're going to need a great big pile of pentaxid. And of course, as I kind of subconsciously kind of alluded to, we're going to need a lot of fuel as well. If we're not going to have the same problem we got, because unless something's changed dramatically, the resources and that you can find in the legacy system are a bit sparse. I mean, and that was always an issue. Right, so we're down. That's the planet that we went to, Graphilia. You can see it's 87 light years away. Right, so what we got to do now is find the Tal capital. So we're just going to go there. I think what we'll do is we'll fly west. See what's in this direction. What's actually on this planet? We got some promethium. I wouldn't mind some titanium as well, because we're going to have to toughen up the blocks. But what I really need now is sathium, which is a contradiction to, I've got a small promethium deposit. Where's that? Okay, it's right by us, if I can see it. Let me just go that way. Now, the other thing I will mention is that I have had a lot of error messages as well. Where is that then? Is it right below us? Let me just drop down, get low. The gate. Oh yeah, a small Promethean deposit. I am going to stop and mine this because, as I say, we are going to need a lot of fuel, which is a little bit unfortunate. So the next few parts might be a little bit tedious. So we'll go and jump in the... Actually, what I will do, input player. We will get, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll start knocking out the fuel, because we are going to need it. And you can see here, my farm has changed slightly because I had to basically replant all these veggies and stuff, because because the ship was breached to space. You can see where the breach was. All the plants died. Well, if I show you again in here, you can see that we lost the generator that was in here. Luckily, we didn't lose the CPU extenders. We're going to need to have come in here. You can see this area is, we lost a fuel tank there, but I replaced it with a new one up there. But we are going to need to... Now, I know what I want to do with this ship, because in a series when I first used this ship, I did rebuild it. And what I did do is I rebuilt it into a delta formation. So just if we fly over, you can see at the moment it's got like a front with two nacelles. The way I rebuilt it in the first time I actually used it, I filled these wing areas in and created it into a delta formation. And by doing that, that gave me a space for a second kind of block of props. Also, the flat surfaces on the top gave me some weapons platforms. So we're probably going to follow that path there. Anyway, we're just going to get down into here. I don't think we're upsetting anybody. Something tells me I should be. Something tells me I should have the... is it? Not that. I want the Merc MX5. Container controller, we better put that on, I think. Yeah, we can see where the Prometheum is now. Just makes it a bit easier to mine out the... Because of course, this will always carry on saying 100%. But the nice thing is that it doesn't take long to mine the Prometheum out. As long as you don't get stuck, of course. Aha. I mean, and to be completely honest, and this is another then this is the reason why there's been a little bit of a break, is that after what happened and the consequences of the kind of running out of fuel and then getting shot up and all the preparation, there was part of me that said to kind of stop doing this series and then start something new. But after I kind of calmed down a bit, or settled down a bit is probably a better term, I thought, no, I'd like to see it through. And that's hopefully what we're going to do. Let me just see. So we've now got a little bit more fuel in the auger. We've got 216. So this is why it's going to be quite important to keep stocking up on this and building what we can. Okay, let's go and get back in the ship. We probably will need another advanced constructor, or at least a large constructor in here as well. to produce the resources that we're going to need. Oops, thrusters on. We're going to need lots of everything. A couple more resources over there. We're kind of going in the right direction of the capital. And one thing I have noticed is that the planets that we have visited in the course of this series don't seem to have much in the way of POIs to kind of attack and take down and get additional resources. It could be the fact that we haven't visited the right systems, but there's part of me that thinks that, that element is missing, where in Reforged Eden 2, you come down on a planet, you find abandoned supply bases, abandoned mines, things like that, which is a way that you can replenish certain key resources. You've still got to go out and mine and try and find pentaxid and all that, but the main source of that really is asteroids. Iron, there's a titanium deposit there. I think we don't really need to worry too much about titanium at the moment. Yeah, I mean, finding asteroids and mining those is going to be a key part of the processes. And we've got a medium neo. I think I've got plenty of neo at the moment. So there's some more resources over there. It's mainly the promethium I'm going to be interested in, but we are actually in Talon territory now, so got a Talon drone base. Okay, so these guys are a little bit more serious than the Talon of the past. Anyway, what we're going to do now is just fly towards the cat. Oh, what's that? Go take a look at this. What on earth are you? Actually, okay, got no. I mean, picking up some station services as well. So what we're going to need to do is make money. Right, what I've got to do now is find where I left the ship. There it is, just up there. That's what I'm after. You can still see it's in the same position where where it was when I landed, and of course in the previous parts I raised the ground up and got back into it. But of course, oops, turn the thrusters off. Oops, go back to normal light now. Although it's not very bright. Why is my... I haven't turned the power off or anything silly like that, but it's very dark. That's better. Anyway, we're just going to go down here. Now, the first thing I need to do is see if we can access it. And we need to turn this to privet. And of course, the first thing we're going to do is pull out everything that we can from it. Container controller, modified scout tin, yeah. No, I want the fuel and oxygen. There's 2,000 oxygen in here. It's going to be quite useful. We're certainly going to take all that pentaxid. Container controller 1, right. Take out that. Miscellaneous trade. I'll take you out. Alien parts. Take that out. That's. We'll put these in. I think we got enough conversion kits and other bits and pieces. I think that's about it. This can go in the fridge. Put the water in. Well, we'll put some sport food in. Put the money in the fridge as well. Oops, no, missed that one. Personal weapons. I've got a charged crossbow. I think I've got the ammunition for that. What is this? A laser pistol. Can put that to be sold. And personal ammo, we'll just keep that with us as well. Container controller ammo. Now what I'm hoping is that we'll be able to use all this ammo as well, because ammo is going to be quite a key things. Although this, I don't think that's the right ammo, is it? There's turret enemy. I'm hoping maybe we can use that. The fridge. And put the milk in the fridge. We got the pentaxid tank. Right. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is hook to here. I don't have a lot of the space. Everything is filled up at the moment. What have we got here? We've got space in main storage. So now before we do anything, I want to just see if I can pull a block off before we try the ships. Okay, we can get stuff. Right. Let's take off the weapons first. It says this is a pulse repeater, but I'm hoping that we've got a pulse repeater Talon. What did that come out as? Okay, so it's, but it says is LS charge to CV. Let me just look at something. This is just a renamed pulse laser because this takes LS charge to CV as well, which is so that is not going to help us, but we can use these on the ship. Right, now comes the big one, because these are pulse laser turrets tier 2, but as far as I know, there is no tier 2 version. This is something else that I miss from Reforged Eden, is that the number of weapons options are quite limited. I don't think it's okay. We'll take this off and see what we get. I mean, it's got a lot of hit points, if nothing else. Okay, so it looks like these just come as normal laser turrets. Well, they're still going to have a value, so we're still going to. It's just they're not as powerful as we were using them for. But 3 laser turrets is acceptable. So we'll take those off first, and we already got an indication that these are okay. We're kind of open the front up as well, so we got some heavy windows, which is something that I am going to need to do. Take these out as well. Oh, we've got alien blocks. Oh yeah, well, these alien blocks will be useful because we can use these to protect sensitive areas like the rear thrusters, because these have got a lot of hit points. Okay, let me just get rid of these. I mean, it's a possibility we may have to set a base up and put together a deconstructor. I'll just take these off. Just going to work our way down. I don't want to really rush this too much. Okay, I'm going to take out. Now the combat blocks is going to be a little bit debatable. The reason for that is that what I would probably like to do, certainly want the large generator to replace the one that I lost. The polarized shield, we've already got one, so scrap you. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll scrap some of these across the top here. Take the cockpit out. We've already got 2 cockpits, we don't need any more. Get rid of these as well, just for the basics. Where's the core? The core's there. I think I've got quite a lot of thrusters at the moment. Just where are they? What was it? Where's this? I'm sure I had some thrusters. There, we got 4 thrusters. I think maybe we will take the thrusters. Oops. Let's get out of it. Okay, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm. For some reason it's actually it's a bit confusing. This is. Put this here. I'm going to put the weapons back on the toolbar, I think. Rocket launcher. Leave the ammunition on. That's better. Kind of makes everything looks a bit more normal. If that's such a definition. Okay. Well, take those thrusters. We'll take the fridge as well. Right, I think we're now going to work in from this end. I think we'll salvage a few more blocks around here. And then we'll go back to, I suppose, well, given the amount of rebuilding that I'm planning, maybe taking the actual, so that's interesting. We'll take those out. I can always replace the blocks if necessary, so all this combat steel is going to be fairly useful. Okay, we'll scrap. Take that, take that, take that. Have to be automatic armored door. Take you out. We'll scrap the teleporter. I think we're going to need to move into scrap phase. All right, we've got some tier 3 extenders. We've already got tier 3, so these can come out for the things. Got the med station. That's relatively easy to build. What else have we got here? Don't really need the small constructor. We'll take one more medium thruster. Oops. Bit of a fail there, but that's okay. We'll not take you out. Right, get rid of the small thrusters. And we'll go through the bottom there. Anything else of value here? Okay, we'll start at this end. Again, we'll retrieve you. RCSs could be useful because they can improve maneuverability, but the trouble is the CPU on them. We'll just work our way in here. Got another large generator. We'll salvage the small thrusters. Retrieve you as well. Thruster enclosed. Small thruster first. Salvage you and you. We don't really need another scanner, so that can go. What's this here? This is the tier 2 extender as well. Take you out. Retrieve you. Okay, we'll just kind of open this end up now so we can see what we're doing. Aha. I think we're way past worrying about small thrusters. Retrieve blocks. Oops. Then next thing he does is retrieve a small thruster. Okay. kind of half expecting to hear inventory full or start dropping stuff. Salvage you. Okay, we'll salvage out a few more of these for the safety and plates. Just kind of keep chewing through the center of the ship. I don't think we're getting that much, so maybe we'll just go straight for the blocks. Certainly a lot of combat still in here, so that's going to be useful, because when we rebuild the ship, the outer skin's going to have to be combat steel, and possibly even alien blocks if it's an option. So we're going to have to toughen up the entire outer skin of the ship. So I'm going to just take these out. What's that there? Okay, take you. Let's keep skipping these out. What's that there? Is that a cockpit? Oh no, this is just a to salvage out you. Take you out while we're at it as well. I'll just scrap you for the oscillators. Oh, what's that there? Oh, it's just combat. Okay, back to retrieve. And we're just keep away from the core. I don't want to lose the core just yet. What's that there? Oh, it's still combat still. Let's get across here. Oops. Retrieve. Warp drive. Would we? Oh, what's that there? That's a jet thruster. Oh yeah, we're. What is that? Let's have a look. CV1. That's a small jet thruster. We've got some fuel tanks. We'll take those fuel tanks, the tier 2 fuel tanks. They could be useful. So we could change the configuration to tier 2. Warp drive. We've already got a warp drive, so we'll salvage the warp drive. That'll give us flux coils and stuff like that. Take the pentaxid tank. I don't know why, we've already got one, but you can't put 2 on a ship, so we'll salvage that thruster. The titanium. Okay, welcome back. I've now managed to fill up main storage, so we're gonna have to find somewhere else to put the remaining stuff. How much space have I got left in ammo? Okay, we're gonna have to put some in ammo. You can see there's not much left anyway, so I think I'll just pick up round here. And of course we just pick the core up, which we've got 5 computers, and that is it. There's nothing else left. And just to show you, we got some 22 combat blocks, and if we go to main storage, we've got quite a lot. Fuel tanks, pentaxid, and we've got 463 combat blocks. That sounds a lot, but it's not. It's gonna go there. I'm really interested in this thruster jet S. So which one is that? Let's see, where's the... It's this one here. It says we need 2 propulsion components and a construction frame reinforced. Okay, so that's a good find. because that gives us thrust of 19.3, which is a bit more than that. Although, to be honest, I've got no idea where we can get propulsion components and construction frames from. Right, let's just clear the tag for Talanor. Or if we leave a tag, we're probably not going to come back here anyway. So if we just remove you, get back into the ship here. And I don't think there's much else we can get from Talanor. So I think maybe it's time to be on our way. Thrusters on. Kind of try and save a little bit of weight by fuel. Just shove these in here. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to stock up on some oxygen as well. Pentaxid tanks full. The fuel tank is good. And so the strategy now is going to be, oh, we're a little bit heavy, so we're going to need lift thrusters. So we're going to have to keep away from high G planets. What we're going to do now is we're going to start traveling in the direction of legacy space, looking for planets that we can put down on where we can actually do the rebuild. So we'll probably do the rebuild in stages. So we've kind of finished with this now. Okay. Galaxy map, territories on. We're going to kind of need to head in that direction. What we're looking for, we might as well do a reasonably length judge. Got a BGM. 43. How far away? You're right on extreme range, so that we'll go to Mermo. And I think if we can do the jump for the longest possible distance. Oh, great. Where is the... Yeah, we're certainly going to need to improve the maneuverability of the ship as well. The problem's going to be is that I don't... What's the CPU stats? I don't really want to go to tier 4. It'd be nice to go to tier 4, but that would mean that we'd have to spend even more time gathering resources. So I probably am coming to the conclusion that how can you put it? I'm coming to the conclusion that if you're working through these missions, you've really got to be playing the game as well, not just being totally focused on the missions. Because if you're focused totally on the missions, you're not going to be ready for the final stage. What we got here? Nothing much here. Okay, we got a nitrogen volcanic planet with low gravity. That's got pentaxid in it. So view, we got 2. Oh, this could be a good win. We can't do any rebuilding here, but what we can do is see if we can get some pentaxid and other resources. I mean, we got you know, a nitrogen volcanic planet. Could be useful, but not for rebuilding. First thing out is ping out. Looks like we might have a hostile in the system. Great, thank you, game. Oh, come off it. Yeah, cold space on the far edge of... That doesn't make sense because I can see asteroid symbols in this system. Okay, we're going to try the planet and see if that's got anything in it as well. Anyway, I'll see you once we get to the planet and we'll see what we can find in here. So here we are, we're breaking through the atmosphere. Here. Got some resources over there. The game is lying to me, isn't it? It's saying that we got one safe thing. I think the game's lied to us. We're going to get out of here and do another jump. Because I say what I'm looking for is pentaxid. Because I don't want to use too much fuel. Right, we got a K here. Not target there. That's too far. How about you? You're 68. Okay, we've gone a bit too far now. Okay, we got a K at 37 light years. If I can find it, it's that way. Go to a K system. Let's see if that will. You can see the marker there to tell us. So we've got 248 light years to go. Let's see what we've got in here. Oh, this looks a bit more promising. We've got a small forest moon with pentaxid. We've got a planet there with Promethium on it. This might be a little bit more kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, we've got a series of moons here with pentaxid, and on that here, I think we got here. This is undiscovered. Got a trading station here, which could be useful as well. Yeah, I think we can spend a little bit of time here. A large snow planet. What we got here? Got nitrogen and volcanic again. With a nice moon. Yep, we can do something with this. So this is going to be a system that we can spend a little bit of time doing the rebuild on it. If I can find the... Okay. We're going to head for you. Hopefully the place will not be swarming with hostiles. Okay, so it looks like we're in a trader system. Yeah, we got cobalt, pentaxid, titanium. We can work with that, but we're going to head for the planet. Was this a moon? This is moon, wherever you are. Looks like we've got pirates in the system as well. I think what we're going to do is we're going to head for the moon first, so that we can possibly make a start on the rebuild. So that when we come back up again, we will have a ship that can deal with anything that comes along if necessary. Actually, there's something that way above us. I think we're going to head for that and see if we can get a quick win. The Taxid asteroid would be very, very nice game. Oh, look at that. Okay. Right, we're going to have to dive in very quickly now and see if we can grab this. Before the opposition. Because as I say, we don't have a full complement of weapons, so... Okay, we got something near us, but it looks like it's actually a trader drone. So although it's a red dot, it's not hostile, and we certainly don't want to upset them. Not at the moment, anyway. So it looks like we're actually in trader space, which is good, because if we can do some trading, that would be very, very good. And I'm quite happy to live peacefully with them. So right, I'm just going to keep mining this. Okay, welcome back. We're just about to pick up the last few pieces. Get rid of some of that. We might just better get the last few couple of pieces. Well, the ship complains that it's full. Yep, I think we got everything, or as much as we can from here anyway. So we're just going to get back to the ship. Level off. Fly in. Land. Power off. And we can put this into the bit. Okay, we where's it? It's miscellaneous 1, isn't it? We'll put this. Oh wow, okay. We'll just have to leave this in the auger for the moment. Just use the auger as an overflow bit. And actually what I could do, how much have we got in the where is it, fuel? Well, we've probably got enough to knock out, where is it, despite pressing control, it only does it in blocks. We can start turning that into something else as well. One of those drones. We're going to see if we can find a place where we can land on the moon. It's all the moons in the system. Okay, the moons are in their own separate sectors. So what I'm going to do now is just get down onto this moon. We'll find a nice location where we can do the main structural rebuild. And hopefully the planet won't be too cold or anything like that. Otherwise I'm going to have to take up the plants. So here we are, we're just broken through. Let's put that on there. Got a colonial far point here. So we certainly don't want to be in... well, it's colonist actually, it's not colonial, but I've got no idea what a colonist far point actually is. We don't... What resources have we got on here? We got basic irons, we've got a little bit of gold. So what we're looking for is somewhere to put down that's not covered in trees. Generally water's a good place because the trees tend to thin out where there's water. So is there some space here? I want somewhere flat because I don't really want to work on the ship that's kind of, you know, not at an angle. The alternative is that we go up towards the poles. I think we just crossed the central divide there. There's something to the right of us. Looks a bit more open. I mean, the forest moon isn't bad because we can stock up on our wood as well while we're at it. This looks a bit more promising. Yeah, I think this could be good. Turn the thrusters off. Also look, have a look round outside. Oh, we need some more food. Going through a lot of food nowadays. Not that we haven't got a shortage. Oh, all these sweet mushrooms I got it when I reran the squid ship. Okay, let me just. Yep, I think we can work with this. Got a nice flat area. A little bit of plant fiber over here. Might as well pick it up since it's right in front of us. About to say we need it for the XP, but of course we don't anymore. Right, so just to finish off, what we're going to do is we're going to turn the ship into a delta formation off of here. So what we'll probably do is kind of spread out the thrusters here. So we got some braking thrusters, come out to about here, fill in all this area on both sides. We'll probably have to remove all this glass, or at least go to armored glass across the top here. And we're probably bringing the nacelles out a little bit wider. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. We'll bring this area in as well, and of course we're going to rebuild the back so that it's going to be a lot more strengthened. So we'll leave the kind of the two. Let me just go back here and I'll explain it. What we'll do is we will certainly upgrade all this to combat still, because that's going to protect our warp drive and above. These will stay roughly where we are, but we will come out, make the ship a little bit deeper at the rear, because one of the things when they attacked, they nearly got to the warp drive. So we got that. We'll probably lose these windows, make this come out back a little bit wider. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we'll start actually doing the rebuild, so that we can get into a point where we can actually go to legacy space. One thing I will finish on is if anyone's got an opinion on whether it's actually worth doing all this to do the final mission, feel free to chuck it in the comments. Or would you prefer to start a new series in something like Reforged Eden 2? But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.